We're joined by one of the best in the business, Mr. Triple-Double himself, Mr. Matt Muehlebach. What's going on, Matt?
Good to see you, Mike. You're one of the best in the business.
No,
in Vegas.
you know,
good to see you in Vegas.
You know what? I look up to you literally and figuratively. How about that? All right, a couple things. So first, big deal, obviously, Jaylen Clark's out for the tournament right now. Yeah. How does that change the calculation for you when it comes to UCLA and for the tournament?
You know, to me, what I saw in this small sample size, we saw one game, but it's two things. One is, look, let's face it, their D is not going to be as good. He's one of the best in the country. He's a lockdown. We were just talking about Ernie Kent standing over there, talked about being like a Deion Sanders. Yeah. You can take one player one side
away.
Yeah, one side away. However, that gave Amari Bailey a lot more touches. And Amari Bailey is a star in the making. He's an NBA player. Reminds me of a little bit of a Coutinho Mobley or something like that.
I love that. I love that for sure.
I thought Mick Cronin said Lance Stevenson, which I kind of like too, that toughness. But
I like the lefty comparison.
He's a gamer though. Right. You can just tell the way he plays, and he played so aggressively. Career high 26 tonight. So interesting kind of give and take there. But UCLA can still play. Why? Because they have an unbelievable identity.
Right. Now let's talk about Arizona a little bit. Obviously, we've talked about this throughout the year. It's kind of Ąžuolas Tubelis and a lot of really good role players. Yeah. They're going to be playing Stanford tonight. How far do you think Arizona can go in this tournament? And quite frankly, what do you view them in the NCAA tournament as?
You know, I mean, in this tournament, they have a tough draw. Stanford's going to be tough to play. And then they play, SC or ASU. That's a tough game. You know, they could win. They could lose any of those games. I think they'll be favored in those next two, assuming they win those. And I think they can beat UCLA. Look, they've already beaten them this year.
Right.
I think UCLA is probably a tick better than them, if I had to be honest about it. But I definitely think Arizona's a second weekend team if they get the right draw and they play well. Hey, we've seen it. They had a 1 seed last year and came up with a miracle 3 by Matherin to even get to the third round.
Exactly.
That tournament is not easy, but I like their chance. I like what they do right now, and I think they'll respond to a couple games recently that haven't been their best.
Now, the big thing to me with Arizona is I feel that with Paul Larson, this will sound weird because he's kind of mercurial, but I kind of know what I'm going to get generally, the stat line. The one guy, though, that I think is really a difference maker when he's on is Courtney Ramey. Yeah. Courtney Ramey is the one guy on the team that can go from 26 points to 5 points. And when he's at 26 points, this team is on another level right there. To me, his consistency is really what I'm looking for right here because I believe that Ąžuolas Tubelis, I think that he got some of those demons out of his system, for lack of a better term, these last couple weeks or last couple games. Courtney Ramey, though, what do you think about his role going forward, though?
Yeah, you're right. He's an X factor, right? We saw him in Maui. He was sensational in Maui. So here's the thing: when he hits shots, now you have another weapon that can hit shots. People know Kirk can hit shots, but Ramey doesn't have the ball, so he's a guy that they need to score from the perimeter. And I think his ceiling is really high, as high a ceiling as maybe any shooter in the Pac-12.
Right.